Hello, welcome to Crafternoon. I'm Miss Jen, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can make your own knitting loom using a paper towel or toilet paper roll to knit some nice long tube snakes, and you can use those snakes to make bracelets, belts, necklaces, scarves, anything your imagination desires. So let me show you. This is a nice long one that I made. And then I have some shorter ones that I made here as well. This one I tied into a circle, so you can use that as a bracelet. You can use it for yourself, or you can use it for a doll or a stuffed animal for any accessories as well. So the supplies that you need in order to make this are some sort of a paper tube roll. You can use either toilet paper or paper towel. It doesn't matter, but if it's long, you probably want to cut it down just to make it a little bit easier to handle. You'll also need some popsicle sticks. I would recommend between 4 and 6. Either a glue gun if you have one, or you can even use some liquid glue. And then some duct tape. And of course you're going to need some yarn. And then an optional supply is any type of tool that has a point. So you could use a wooden skewer if you have a knitting needle at home. This is a tool that I have for my silhouette machine that has a little pointed tip. This is not necessary, but it does make the knitting process go a little bit easier as you go. So let's get started with making the paper tube loom. This is what it's going to look like with the tube and then the popsicle sticks sticking straight out. What you'll want to do is when you get your tube, you'll want to make sure that your sticks are going to be equally spaced out. So if you need to mark it ahead of time to help you with that, that would be helpful. I'm going to use hot glue on mine. I like using the hot glue because it dries really fast, and so it's going to have a better bond. If you use liquid glue, that's fine. You're just going to need to wait until it completely dries before you're able to use the loom. So I'll show you how we get started. I have little markings on my tube to space it out. You're going to put them on and press it onto the tube so it's sticking out maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Go with the next one. The third one. As I said, you can use anywhere between 4 and 6. You can see the first one that I did, I used 4. Today I'm going to use 5. It's just going to make your snake a little bit thicker. Okay, we got 3 of them. 2 more. And then the last one. All right, so now you can see I've got 5 popsicle sticks stuck to my tube. Now we're going to add some duct tape just to help the popsicle sticks be a little bit more stable. If you're using glue, regular glue, it's especially important to use the tape because that's going to help keep them in place. So you're just going to wrap it around. You can use masking tape if that's all you have, or regular tape. You can use colored duct tape and make a nice little design. Make it a little bit fancier if you want. And what I'm doing is I'm rubbing it down in between to make sure that it's sticking to both the popsicle stick and the paper tube in the middle. Okay, so the next step is optional, but I highly recommend it. Because you're going to be knitting using the top here, sometimes it's easy for the yarn to slide off. So what I would recommend is to take your glue, again, if you just have regular liquid glue, that is fine as well. But if you make a little dot at the top of each popsicle stick, that is just going to help prevent your yarn from sliding off as you're pulling and doing the knitting. So I'm going to give this a chance to dry and harden, and then I will come back and we'll get started with how to start your knitting. Okay, so now the glue has had a little bit of a chance to dry, we're ready to start with our knitting. You're going to take your yarn and drop it all the way down to the middle so it comes out at the bottom. And you'll probably want to hold on to it just to keep it nice and firm while you're casting on your stitches while you're getting ready. So what you're going to do is you are going to pull the yarn between two of the sticks. You're going to wrap it around one stick and bring it back to the middle, and then wrap it around the next stick next to it. Bring it through the other side, wrap it around that stick, bring it through, and then wrap it around again, and it'll end up like this. So this is what your inside is going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to hold this in a way that you probably won't be holding it, but I want you to be able to see how I'm doing it. You'll notice on each stick you have the yarn wrapped around and then the little glue piece right there. You're going to take the long string of yarn and hold it so it's between the one that's on the popsicle stick and the glue. You'll pinch the bottom one and bring it up over like this. Now the first one is going to be hard because you've got the piece at the bottom that's going to come a little bit loose. Then you're going to twist it around. This is the string that's attached to the yarn here. And again, it's going to be in between the one that's already on the popsicle stick and your glue. You'll pinch that and pull it up over. So you can see this is where it's nice that you have that glue here because it's going to prevent your yarn from slipping up over the stick. It is possible to fix it, but it is a little bit more difficult. So let's bring it again in between the piece that's already on there and the glue. You're going to pinch it up and bring it up and over and tuck it down. And you're just going to keep going all the way around, up and over. Sometimes it does get a little bit stuck, so you just need to wiggle it a little bit. Bring it up. You're going to grab this piece here. And you are going to keep going. Now you can see it's getting a little bit more of a spider web look there. As you're working, you can just pull on the bottom, and that's going to pull it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to do a couple more to show you. It's a little confusing and awkward at first. Once you get the hang of it, it gets a lot easier, and you can go really, really quick as you're going around. Up and over. Reminder, you're going in between the yarn that's already wrapped around your stick and the dot of glue. Pull up, over, and down. In between the piece that's already on your stick and the glue, pull it up, over. As I'm working, I tend to push down a little bit on the inside. That just helps it from bunching up on each other. Coming around. I'll pull tight so now you can see it's getting even more of the woven look there. Up, over, and down. Looks really cool. Again, you can pull on the bottom and it's just going to pull it a little bit tighter. Okay, let's show you from another view so you can see again, this is what it's looking like going through. We have all of the yarn tied around each popsicle stick. You're going to take the string, wrap it so it's between the glue and the piece that's already wrapped around. And you're going to pick this up and pull it over. And so now this piece here is the one that was the longer string. So now we'll come around. Pull it up like this. There you go. And then you can always pull on the bottom, and it's as it gets longer, you're going to see it start to come out the bottom. So I'm going to show you how I use this tool with it. As you put your string across, I just use it to pick up underneath and slip it over. It's a little bit easier because it's harder to get a nice grasp with your fingertips sometimes. So we'll go under this piece and pull it up and over. Spin the loom around. This is the long open thread. Go under, up, over, and down. Up, over, and down. And again, push it down a little bit so you know where that yarn is supposed to go. There you go. And then just again, if you want to use your fingers, you just pick it up and pull it around. So you can play around with whichever technique you think is the easiest for you. Okay, so when you've got your snake as long as you want it to be, I'm going to show you how you can tie off the end. You're going to grab the long end and you're going to cut off a pretty decent size of it. Okay, so then we're going to come up here. You are going to take this off the popsicle stick, but you want to still hold on to it so you don't lose it. You're going to thread the long piece through where that went. So you can see this is the piece that was around the popsicle stick over here. So we'll take this piece off the popsicle stick. You can see it's a nice loop there. If it helps to stick your finger through it so you don't lose that loop, you can do that. And you're going to thread that string all the way through. It's going to be very, very loose, and that's okay. We'll pull it tight once we get it all of the loops off. Same thing with the third one. And then we got one more that we're going to pull off. Get that piece of string all the way through, and then pull it nice and tight. So there we have, this is just a short one. I can tie this into a circle like this. This would make a nice bracelet, or you could use it as a belt for a doll or a stuffed animal. And you can tie it off however you want to. So thank you for joining me and crafting with me this afternoon. I hope you had a lot of fun. And the next time you're in the library, I would love to see the creations that you made following this video. Have a great week.